Hi everybody, welcome back to those who've been hanging with me some time, and welcome to those of you new to my channel. I'm Adela Lavine, intuitive and medium. Okay, so I have a story to tell, and the story will actually be very connected to the subject matter today, which is rituals and how to simply do rituals and things like this. However, before I get started, kind of wanted to let you guys know that I'm going to be doing a class on Saturday, and it will be online. You can sign up and come live, or you can watch it later. It's Mediumship 101 and Part 2, how to open up the gates, because if you're going to get into mediumship, you got to understand about opening up the gates. And also I'll be at Mystic Museum doing live readings on Saturday as well. Also look for a couple of podcasts that I've been guests on that will be coming out this month. So follow me on Instagram and on my TikTok. And of course, so follow me on here and subscribe on here and comment. Okay. So I'm going to get into rituals and such, and I'll get into the story in just a second. But I wanted to kind of go over, rituals, since, it's coming up October, we have Samhain, and so many of you might be getting into Samhain. What is Samhain, you ask? It is kind of a ritual to, open up and speak to the dead, because it's a time of year very much like the Day of the Dead, where there's a belief that there's a time during this time, this month and stuff, the month of October, a certain time where our people who have passed are kind of walking this earth. Now, I've been a seer in different Samhains for different covens in the past. I myself don't do Samhain because I see the dead all the time. So I kind of don't really need, for me, it just doesn't, resonate. But this is a form of ritual. And if you're doing like your own ritual, and on my Patreon, by the way, I just did a video on portable altars and how to create a portable altar. So it's kind of like tied in, altar rituals and stuff. They kind of go hand in hand. But if you do rituals and you have ones that you follow, that you've read in a book, or you've, seen someone else do, that's awesome. But you can do your own ritual to very much simplify it. Rituals can be just as easy as like, I light this candle, I burn this incense, I breathe for a minute, and then, I kind of like open myself up, I meditate. It can be as simple as that. Then there can be other type of rituals where a ritual is to actually just kind of performing an act of kind of taking a time to kind of do something purposefully. It's taking some time to do something, to put intention and create purpose to what you're doing. Meaning like you want to put the focus on what you're doing. You want it to be something that you are consciously putting effort in. So we do rituals in the morning. You get dressed at a certain time in a certain way. You make your coffee. That's a form of a ritual. Even like when you're picking out your clothes, you're kind of like purposely picking out something that feels right, that's kind of giving you a certain intention for whatever it is you're about to step into for the day or the evening. And you kind of have a way you get ready, right? You like get ready in a certain fashion. Or maybe you're saying, Adela, I actually just throw on whatever. I don't care, which is totally fine. That could be a ritual. But rituals are really just something that you are purposely, intentionally doing to create a certain outcome. What I mean by that is you want something, to pull something to you. You want to open something up. So if you want to create a ritual, let's say, for opening up your third eye, if you want to do a ritual for bringing in love and bringing in money or whatever, then it's the idea of like you intentionally like maybe have a certain candle, a certain color, certain incense you use. Maybe there's certain, deities that you put out and things like this. And you are putting these things on an intentional basis. And then you're kind of tying it all together with the bow. And you're going, okay, I have done this ritual. It is taking the time to step out of your day, to step out of your week and saying, I'm going to do these steps to kind of put a certain intention out there. So if you want to do something for money or you want to do something for love, then you may have things that represent. So if you have something that is, like personal to you that says, hey, this has good energy. Someone gave this to me and it reminds me of them. And you put that out and you say, okay, I want to like light this candle because it makes me feel good. And then I want to like, sit here and play a song and breathe, and then maybe do a dance and kind of like, create a protective circle of space. Always kind of creating a circle of space is important when you're doing a ritual. So always see it as like you can even draw with your own hand the space of circle. And you say, okay, now I have lit this candle, I have burned this incense, I have put the things that represent, and I am pulling into me what I want to like pull towards me, and I'm giving back. So that's important when you are doing ritualistic type things. You want to make sure that you're pushing back the energy that you are taking. In other words, you are not just asking and demanding from the universe, give me this, this is what I deserve. You are saying like, I want love in my life, but I also want to bring that to other people. And so I want money in my life because I also want to bring some help into the world, but I'm so worried about money and bills that I really don't feel like I have a lot left in me to give. You see what I'm saying? There's a difference between that and going, I'm doing this ritual on demand. You see what I mean? Like, give it to me. Genie's in the bottle. They do not do that. They do not like that. That was a, throwback to a TV show. I love Genie. So that's very important when you're doing rituals. And if you're doing spells, that's a whole nother thing and a whole nother video. But if you're doing anything like this that you are wanting the universe to kind of assist you on, make sure that you are doing it with the intention of like, what are you returning? There is something that was taught to me by a wonderful witch that I knew, who was a high priestess, and she, said, pay the coin. And paying the coin does not just mean in money. It means, what are you giving in return? And this is very, very ancient belief. This goes back to the idea that we do the same thing with the earth. If we take something from the earth, do we respect it back and thank it? It's all the same thing. It's the idea that we are all part of something and we are all servicing each other. I mean, we're giving a service to each other. If you are cutting someone's hair, they are paying the coin by, paying you with money, because that is the way our world is. But that isn't the only way to pay the coin. Maybe someone did you a favor and you returned it, or maybe you just like helped them, feel, lift their spirits that day, and you sent them a message and tried to give them a little bit of your energy. So always pay the coin in rituals as well. So here's my little story. I was doing a Samhain. It's not a little story. It's kind of an intense story. I was doing a Samhain ritual and I was the seer. So in this particular setting, they had seers in all four corners of the room. And most of the other seers wore kind of like a hood. They wanted to wear this hood because they kind of look at it like they're hiding from the spirit world. Me, me. If you don't know me by now, I'm definitely the person that's like, I see all the time. I don't need to wear a hood. I don't need to wear anything. I'm like, boom. So in Samhain, when they say that the dead walks around, they rip open the gates and they kind of allow all energies, whether they're connected to the people in that room or not, to kind of connect. It is pretty intense. In this particular Samhain, because I've done other ones that aren't as intense, it was extremely intense. So they do a ritual where they kind of turn the pot, so to speak, where they all walked around in a circle, brought in all this energy. And there was someone there who was a student of mine, who was a student in mediumship for some time, who decided to be a seer for that night. So we ended, and you also scream, you yell out things that you hear or feel. And I did that out into the crowd. And then it's a really intense ritual. People get like emotional and drop to the ground and cry. It's very intense. Okay. And there's lots of people, like it might've been at least 100 people there. Big, big ritual, not your little ritual at home. And I went outside because they were doing another form of the ritual, kind of ending it. And I felt something pull me. and I got pulled, and I was like, I felt like I needed to, go find someone. I got pulled and went around. I literally felt like something was pulling me, walked to the back, and I see, my student, and she, was like frozen and she couldn't breathe, and they were trying to help her. They were like putting metal on her, because it's the idea of like when you want to get grounded, you hold metal. It was her first time doing anything like this intense. And I just looked at her and she said, my name. And I just reached out and I hugged her and I said, breathe in with me. And I breathed in all that was stuck, because she got this energy stuck. And I breathed out and she released. And once she released, they kind of took her aside and, helped her or whatever, and did, what they needed to, try to kind of calm her down. But she immediately felt released. And it was very interesting, because it's kind of a take on realizing when you're doing things, when you're working with this realm. I mean, one, it was crazy because I just felt it was like a scene out of a movie, pulled to find her. And I didn't know it was her, but pulled towards this direction. And as soon as I saw her, I knew what I needed to do. And it came very natural to me. But remember, when you are dealing with this world, and it wasn't like negative, it was just she got stuck. Like she got so overwhelmed by the energy that she just couldn't let go. So remember, when you're working with these energies, you want to work with them. You don't want to absorb them. When you're doing rituals, make sure it's something you're prepared for. Make sure it's something you feel comfortable with. That's why I'm trying to tell you, simplify, do something simple. It doesn't have to always be crazy. Don't take on something you're like, I've never done this. It looks crazy intense. I want these results, so I will do it. Make sure it's something you feel you can handle. Don't push yourself. Magic things can happen in all kinds of ways. You can just be walking through your neighborhood and just kind of feel an energy and listening to music, and that can be a form of ritualistic type things. So don't always overdo it. And so that little story was one about me and how I progressed and was able to do something like that for her. But two, was somebody who was learning that lesson of maybe she pushed it too far at that time. But three, the ritual was pretty strong and pretty real. And even though it's not a ritual that I feel like I need, it doesn't mean it doesn't have the something valuable to it. So hope you enjoyed that. Leave in the comments below. Don't forget to let me know what you thought of everything. Follow yourself, follow no one, listen to your inner voice, and I'll see you soon. Pausing for more, noise pollution. But let me start over again. Third time, sorry. Great. Fourth time's a charm. Fifth time is a charmed.